Reborn Wedding, in stock and delivered in 3 days or less. It's a season for giving thanks, a time when families want to be together, and a perfect time to reach out and give back. Want to make a real difference? Watch our Give a Little Love telethon for Ronald McDonald House Charities. Meet the kids, the families, the people who make this special place a home away from home. Give a little love and watch it grow. Presented by McDonald's, ShopRite, Time Time Foundation, PJ Wheelhands Public Restaurant, and Wistis Kids Foundation. First, there was Vegas, then Atlantic City. Now, your pocket. Drafting on an online casino with your favorite game wherever you want. Slots, blackjack, blackjack games, and more. New casino players can get into
I don't know who's gonna come in because this might be my second live. I would love it if someone would join me. Talking about this karmic closure on some karmic contracts. It's obvious. It can't be denied that this is what it's about. You know? I know that there are a lot of people, women, mothers, daughters, that are feeling the flames of damn Jericho right now. You know, it's intense. It is intense. But you know what? For big girls and guys like us, chosen ones, it comes with the it's in the manual, I'm sure. We didn't get a manual, but it comes with the territory. Cutting off, being cut off, forsaken, being forsaken. It's in the cards, baby. But not unique to many, I know. This story is not a new story. Mothers and daughters having conflict, major conflict. And besides conflict, that's the superficial stuff that's going on. You know, there's some deep spiritual bloodline issues going on. And it is in this hour that we, chosen ones that are, you know, going through this journey, this process, I have come to this crossroads, and I'm seeing the affliction in my own life. But aside from my own life, there have been people that have just come into my trajectory out of nowhere and are afflicted with this very same issue, are experiencing, I won't say afflicted because it's not something that is happening to us, it's just happening. But so many women, mothers, sisters that I have come into, that I might feel my situation is, because I never would have thought that it would cost me my firstborn. But spiritually, that shit makes every bit of sense. The first will be last, the last will be first. My firstborn, without provocation, there was nothing I could have done to stop that attack, because it was a divinely ordered thing. And if it was divinely ordered, I'm saying I know that this is for us to deal with. This is from spirit. This is from the ancestors. It is our time to heal, rather, these generational, ancestral wounds and the wounds of affliction that have been caused in some of the most devastating relationships. Mothers, and y'all be wanting, the people be wanting to jump on the bandwagon, but this stuff is real. And so in between him and her, everything else had to go. But I never expected that my mother, my daughter, would threaten my life. And it's an evil spirit. It's an evil energy. It is not her. It's not the child that I gave birth to. There's so many principles that are going on in this phenomena that we have to take careful consideration for. How do we approach this? That is the pertinent question. Because we know what it is, but what now? What next? We've got to tap in and upwards as to how to approach. And I have done so. And I know that it is about doing it different. When we talk about ancestral curses or wounds and afflictions, I thought this of light and love. And so, in spite of her threat to shoot me on sight without any provocation, and I promise you that, any real provocation, she's in a narcissistic state of being. And so all of her provocations are illusionary, right? So without any real provocation, she has threatened to shoot me on sight. And I say, wow. Well. And then her heart with Hata is very interesting. It's an accusation. It is a fear that is definitely generational. She fears that people, me, not people, are trying to take her daughter from her, my grandchild. Well, wouldn't it be so? Wouldn't that be the premise of the madness? Of course. I don't know if you guys know, but I wrote a book about it. Here it goes. It's called Marked for Destruction, Destined for Deliverance. I'll put a link down there. Written 15 years ago, probably. My daughter is very well aware of the generational, ancestral, dysfunctional cycles that have transpired in our life, in my life. She knows I was born in prison. She knows that my mother and I didn't have a relationship at all for many, many years, except for the one that I allowed for my grandchildren's sake, especially for her firstborn. And so lo and behold, generation to generation, the damn curse still exists. But it stops here. It stops here. But I'm bringing this to our conversation because I already know what I'm going to do. Trust that. And I'm just going to open up the conversation, and I'm going to keep opening up the conversation because I have folks that I know that are wrestling with this thing. People that have been brought into my trajectory for this very reason, for me to try to shed some light into their situation. But in the meantime, when I see what I see, people are suffering with this thing. And you know what it is? I'll tell you why. Why one would suffer in such a situation. It's because you're attached to that situation. Oh my God. I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for the downloads and for the instructions that I took heed to. I'm grateful that I was cut off in the first go around, like nobody wanted to F with me, right? And I'm grateful for that because that taught me how to detach from my mother, ever. And so when I knew how to detach, and that was just part of what taught me how to be prepared for the detachment that is necessary for this hour. Because God, Spirit, angels, ancestors been telling me, get ready, get ready, get ready. It's in the book. So I make nothing up. I seen this time, this day. I knew who I was a long time ago, but I never would have thought that it would have cost me my fucking child. Never. So be it though, because what stands between me getting through this gateway and inheriting my blessings, my promise, anything that comes between that. See, I did a video a couple of weeks back, maybe not even a couple of weeks, last week. Robert De Niro says in that movie, whatever that getaway movie was, he says, a friend of his told him once, don't be attached to anything that you are not ready to let go of in 30 seconds, should you feel the heat coming around the corner. And baby, the heat is coming around the corner, and I'm letting go of it all. And I advise you to do that. If you find yourself under the auspices of my voice and it resonates, I'm advising you to look around and detach, take them swords and cut off all that doesn't serve you well. Don't let it linger. And be detached in your spirit, because it's coming. It potentially couldn't come. There's swords that are coming. You don't get through the gateway. You don't inherit the kingdom. You don't inherit the promise unless you are ready to what? Forsake and be forsaken. And I believe there's a text that says that unless one is ready to forsake his mother and his father, his child and his daughter, right? It does say that, and it means that. I know that. I knew that.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
And here it is. Here it is. And so I know what I must do. I know that my years in the pit, my years in the shadow, because I had a few years before 2020 in the darkness, pulling up the keys to the kingdom, and I got them. And I will share them, because that's what I went in there for. Spirit told me, you got the keys for those that are coming. You need to get ready. You need to stop drinking, Althea. And I was like, yeah, now? Yeah, he told me like 20, 30 years ago. Not 30 years ago. About 20 years ago. One day you won't be able to drink anything. I was like, all right, I don't drink that much. But here's that day. You can't drink nothing. You got to go get the keys. You got to go into darkness. That alcohol, it's going to take you there. And you're going to have to detach from that too, boo-boo. It took me into dark places, but it was worth it, because now I'm here and I'm up and I'm rising, and I've got the keys to the kingdom. We're getting ready to inherit it. And then here comes what? An obstacle. How dare it? A devil. Envy, jealousy, competition, malice, strife, bitterness, envy, hatred, bloodline stuff. Got it. It all has to get cleaned up. Burn in the fire. It's in the 11th freaking hour, literally. Don't it feel crazy? Yeah, I feel it all up in here. But I'm going to keep pressing through it. And that's all that we must do. But here's the key. Do it different. Our fathers, mothers, grandparents, they didn't do it. They did the best they could with what they had. We have more than what they had. We have awareness. We have knowledge. We have the downloads. They're thick. The veil is thin. You can tap in. This is the hour to do this, to heal those ancestral wounds. But don't get it twisted. I want to go back, because it's really not about just healing them. The primary thing that my spirit has told me over these last few months, as I looked at my grandmother's picture on my ancestor table, and I looked at that picture for 2 years, and I worked, and they worked, and they talked to me. And the more I looked at that picture, I realized the dishonor. That's what it's about, the dishonor that we allow. And the dishonor that was passed down through the bloodlines. Dishonor between the mother and the daughter, the mother and the child. Oh yeah, it's a mother and child, not just mothers and daughters. I know folks that where it's a mother and her son, right? There's something going on with this divine feminine need for us to go in and heal. You know, they talk about curses, and we think about warring when you think on those levels, but we're talking about wounds. So we have to think about healing on that level. You know, that's the difference between a third dimensional approach and a fifth dimensional approach, a conscious approach. Third dimensional approaches, we want to chastise, we want to correct. But in this hour, it's not, it's light and love. That's the only thing that really is going to affect any change in this matter of ancestral generational wounds, is light, love, and healing it. Do it different. Whatever wasn't given to you, because what wasn't given to me, it was a time when my mother, and I'm gonna tell you, this is some crazy shit. My mother, at one time, being very what would I say? My mother and I had a dynamic where, I was born in prison, and she blamed my grandmother for her not being able to keep me and take me back, and that spilled over into her not really her having some bitterness towards me because I honored my grandmother, and I didn't find room to honor her as my mother when I was younger. And so she had it out for me, and there were lies that she told about me. And so conveniently, right? My daughter's doing the same thing. Huh? If I was shocked, I would be a fool. I wouldn't be the chosen one if I was shocked. I was amazed, but I wasn't shocked. Makes perfect sense. I saw my grandmother bury 5 children that dishonored her. And when I looked at her picture, she was close to having retired, maybe about a couple of years, 5 years or so before she died. She was destitute of honor. And here it is, our turn. Our turn to command, or not even command, but to step into our power. And when we step into our power, we step into our honor. Our moving to do the same. And if it doesn't, that's where you have to do the detaching and the cutting off. That's what it's about. Like, when one or another is challenging, you're stepping into your power, stepping into who you are, your honor and your glory. And they want to get in between that. And they do, because they're in opposition to you. Unfortunately, I don't care if they're your own flesh and blood mother or daughter. This is now. I seen that last year, 2020. And in the case of my daughter, I said it in the case of every really observing, because a lot of people are not plugged in. And so I could see there is getting ready to be a separation of the wheat and the tares. And I looked at my daughter and I heard what she said, and I saw how she behaved. And I said, is she coming with me? Just like I said with my love. Is he coming with me? And I played the song that the angels suggested, and they said, no, baby, he's not. No, baby, your girl is not. Not now. You got some things to do. But I'm going to be okay. My point is, are you? If I can do anything by sharing this treacherous experience to let you know, first and foremost, that it's not your fault. You didn't do nothing wrong. If this is brought to you in this trajectory and time and hour, this is divinely ordered. Nothing that you could have done to stop it. I tell my daughter, even before she threatened to kill my life, and I still hold to that. I know that karma is coming. I'm gonna be there. If you don't shoot me to death, I'm gonna be there. Because I ain't mad at you. I am mad at you. Pop. Whoa. Yo, I just felt that energy. I heard him. I am mad at you with love. That's what we have to do with these ones that are afflicting. I have to do that. Why? Because I know the consequences. And I wish bad on nobody. That's why they say pray for your enemies. You can't just be wishing harm on any old body, because it could be your very own. It could be your very own. You just don't do it. But I'm going to do it different. Healing these dysfunctions requires just the application of light and love, because 99.999% chance is that is exactly what we needed, and we didn't receive it. And as a chosen one, we have come up and matriculated through this, which we created to do just this. I'm tucked away. I didn't tuck myself away. The gods tucked me away just like that. I have to do this. I have to move this stuff out the way. I can't let it fester. So I share it. I offload it. I tell the truth. And I shame the devils. Yeah. It's a heavy thing. It's not light. But there is light at the end of this journey. We're closing out that old chapter. You know, I wanted to be over with it. I figured, like, I'm done. I finished. I did my work. I'm ready. Can I get my stuff? Can I go? Can I go? No, not yet. Yes, but not yet. That's what the guides are telling me. Virgo chosen one. They say, yeah, everything is everything on the 77777 or the 888888 that I see on a regular basis. Yeah, they got me. I just gotta do what they say. Sit, pause, rest, relax, take care of me. That's what they say. So in the midst of that, they're saying that to me. I'm sure that they're extending that same offer to you. Rest. Take care of yourself, goddess and gods. If there are such brothers that are suffering through these afflictions, but I have only been crossing paths with a good 10 sisters, and the energy is there, and they know, and it's just got to be something that we arrest in the heavens, as above, so below. So get on your knees or stand in your corner and bring it up so it can come down below. Healing and deliverance and breakthrough. But you first. Hey, me first. The first shall be last and the last shall be first, baby. It's our turn. Sorry. You know, that's about people making choices. Some people chose to go first and obtain and choose the matrix, right? Some people chose to choose the higher things. Because when the contract switched, we've already done our stuff. So now the switch is on. We've already done our work. And now we get to walk through the rest of this thing in paradise, right here on earth, believe it or not. I'm trying to give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven here on earth, because I got them. I'm going to work mine. Unlocking every door to every inheritance and to every promise. And I ain't going to let no child or no parent, nothing, no system. See, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against powers and principalities and spirits in high places, right? So that's where my work is. It's 23 minutes. And I thank whomever it is that joined me. And this will be archived. They will catch it when they catch it. Thank you for joining me. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. You may be subscribed. That might be why you tuned in. And again, thank you. There will be more, but it won't be forced. It only has to come when the downloads come. And I'm feeling like they're finished right now. Good night. Namaste. You'll find hundreds of popular slot games, such as Cleopatra and China.